Welcome, I'm the Deadwood Jedi. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video, and this is going to be a short one. We just have a couple kind of interesting things coming through in the game in the next couple days here, so I want to give you a heads up on that. Many of you know we do have some drop fever stuff going on right now. We just finished the speed one, which is always great, and right now we have one for Savage gear, which is always awesome. You can see the little 2 times above my head over there. And so that's great. If you are looking for some good arena gear, even Hydra gear, Savage is the best damage gear in the game, bar none. It'll make all your champions hit a lot harder. So getting that is always valuable. When you get double the chance of getting that awesome gear from the Fire Knight, that's always worth it. It is really the best set you can get from Fire Knight, much like speed from the Dragon. So definitely something you guys are going to want to do. In addition to that, we just finished a 2 times Void Summons. We just finished, where we should have coming in 2 weeks, an Ancient Summons for 2 times, so keep those in mind. But starting on the 14th, I believe that is, for me in the United States, that's going to be, I believe, Tuesday. We're going to have a bonus legendary event, basically. So when you summon let me see if I can't find the actual thing here. So what it's going to be is it'll be an extra legendary event. That's what they're calling it. So when you summon a legendary from a sacred shard, you'll get a second legendary free with that. Doesn't cost you any silver. It also doesn't count towards any events or tournaments or anything like that. Doesn't reset your mercy count either, which really doesn't matter because you just pulled the legendary, so that's your mercy count anyway. But that's going to be happening at the same time. So that's a really great event for us. Definitely something I recommend doing. Anytime you get a chance of getting a second legendary, I'm always for that. Now, I'm very much a proponent of you only pull during 2-time events. But the only exception to that for me is when there are guaranteed champion events, and this is a chance to do that. If you have enough sacreds to pull and get the champion you want, I think this could be a really good option. However, this is an important caveat. You need to keep in mind that there is something else coming up very soon that you definitely 100% want to participate in and will need to save resources for. So if you are a free-to-play player or a very low spender, or you just don't have a lot of shards, you may actually not want to pull for that little event, because coming up starting on the 16th on Thursday, we're going to have a new fusion, the Christmas fusion. And I'm sure many of you know about this already, but this is a must fuse champion. I haven't tested him yet. I don't know what he looks like yet. I mean, I know what he looks like, but I haven't really, gone through the kit too extensively. But I know that just looking at what they've shown us already, the skills that this champion brings are going to be essential for Hydra and valuable anywhere in this game. I don't care if you're talking arena, where chances are he's going to be incredibly good, or if you're talking Doom Tower, or if you're talking dungeons, or if you're talking Hydra. Like I said, even Clan Boss, I feel like there's going to be a lot of benefits to this champion. So that said, I wanted to go over his kit really quickly with you guys and kind of talk a little bit about what this guy brings to the table, and because I think he's just going to be super, super good. So I want to give my input on him. This is before I test him. I'm hopefully going to have a chance to do that on the test server. We'll see if that works out. But yeah, this is going to be a really good champion. So the champion is Tatura Rimehide. He's got, this big dragon dude with these horns. I love the look of him already. It's a big lion. I'm sorry, not dragon dude. Big lion, griffin kind of thing, right? You got the wings, you got the lion head, and then you have these massive frost horns, which are dope. So the first thing we should talk about is A1, right? When booked, he's going to give you a 100% chance to land decreased accuracy on his A1. Now, it is single target. That definitely limits his potential, but anytime you have a chance to get a guaranteed debuff, that's really valuable. We all know on Bommel, that's an essential debuff to place. Having it on an A1 is super valuable. I can see this person being exceptional for that boss in the Doom Tower, if nothing else. A2 is going to have a block debuff and increased defense buff for all allies for 2 turns. You guys know 2-turn block debuff is not a common ability, and it's super valuable. I don't care where you're talking about. Really valuable in the Demon Lord clan boss. This is why I actually think he might be good for anybody, no matter what level you're at. Not to mention the increased defense buff is really valuable too. It says it's on a 5-turn cooldown right now when unbooked. We'll see what happens when that is booked. My expectation would be that's a 3-turn cooldown. And I have that expectation because it is a legendary champion, because it is a Christmas fusion, and my guess is that all of these skills are going to book down to 3-turn cooldown. Could be wrong about that, but that's my guess right now. And the one I'm not sure about when it comes to that is actually the A3, the Otherworld Breach, and that's going to be an AoE hit, places a perfect veil on all allies except for this champion for 2 turns. Super valuable, like a second Duchess, really. And then also places a shield buff on this champion for 2 turns equal to 20% of the damage inflicted. So he's got a nice AoE. If it deals good damage, that could be a huge shield buff along the lines of someone like a Miscreated Monster or a Sir Nick. So this could be a champion that's extremely valuable for things like spiders, of all things. Not to mention with the Perfect Veil, he's then drawing all the aggro. So you can build him with resistance and have him be exceptionally good for the waves. He just seems like a very, very good champion. Now, again, 5-turn cooldown before booked. My guess, once more, is that when you book that can go down to a 3-turn cooldown. And then he also has an amazing passive. When attacked, reflects 30% of the damage this champion receives back to the attacker. That's very similar to something like a Geomancer or an Underpriest Brogni. And if it functions in the same way, where it procs the Giant Slayer, or War Master procs, this could be an amazing champion for us, guys. I mean, just really, that could be super, super strong. So this is definitely somebody we're going to want to check out. Also has a 30% chance of placing freeze debuff on the attacker for 1 turn. That's really powerful too, especially when we start talking about Arena. And when you consider the fact that he's placing Perfect Veil on everybody else, guess who's getting all the attacks? He is. So he has a really good chance. It's kind of like a Tormund thing, except instead of freezing people based off turn meter, you're freezing them based off when they attack you. This is a very, very powerful champion, I think, and could be really good for us. So this is going to be a traditional fusion, right? This is not going to be one of those fragment ones. It's a traditional one where you have to get in level 4 rare champions, turn them into epics, who you have to then rank and ascend as well, and then you can turn that into a legendary. So it's definitely going to be costly. You're going to have to use a lot of your resources in order to make this work. So, if you haven't started preparing, begin now. It is going to be worth it. It is definitely something you guys are going to want to get ready for. But yeah, this champion looks really, really good. Somebody I think everybody's going to be happy that they were able to fuse. So we got a couple things going on, right? We got these 2-time events. We've got this extra sacred pull thing, and just be careful. There's going to be a 10 times this weekend. There's probably going to be another, shard event coming up. They're doing this so that you drain your resources for the fusion. This is going to be a good fusion champion. You're going to want to get them, and because of that, they're going to want to try and drain all our resources beforehand. So if you do not spend money on this game, beware of that. Hold on your resources. You're going to want to get this fusion champion. You're going to want to spend those resources then. Of course, if, this is one of those holidays where you're like, hey, I'm going to be out of town, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the game. Well, then that. This fusion's probably going to be pretty difficult. But there's probably going to be some epics that you're going to want to get even if you don't get this legendary champion. So I generally would say hold on your resources. Don't get suckered into this event unless you are a spender. If you're a spender, go for it, because it's always great to get an extra legendary. In any case, guys, hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully you guys are doing all right with the Hydra clan boss. And actually, I would really love if you guys can let me know in the comments down below, what level are you guys hitting? How is your clan doing? Because we're kind of always in these little bubbles, right? Especially as a content creator, where I don't mind spending resources on this stuff, or buying packs and that kind of thing. I spend money on the game, and I'm also in a clan that's pretty active. Where are you guys at? I'm kind of curious where the majority of the community is at with this. Are you guys hitting normal only? Have you guys moved to hard? Are you guys even into brutal? I really don't know, and I'm curious to hear where you guys are at. I have my own thoughts and suspicions, but I would like to know from you guys where you're at with this. I want to continue putting out content on that, but I also want to balance it with where you guys are at. Do you have Ishmaels or the Inquisitor Shemaels? Do you have Ishmaels, or do you have Rector Drafts? Do you have Duchesses, or are you lacking all those champions? Do you have Doom Priests? Like, what are the systems that you guys are using? What are the champions that you're lacking that are really holding you back? Or any of the heads in particular causing you a lot of trouble? Is the Mischief head not a big deal, or are you finding that to be as difficult as I am, or are you more concerned with the Torment head as opposed? So just let me know what you guys are thinking about that. I'm really curious to hear your feedback, and yeah, that's all we got for today, guys. So hopefully this is helpful. Good luck if you do pull shards. If you don't, get ready for that fusion. I think you guys are going to like it. And yeah, that's it. Till next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.